you have been in the vanguard of the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia. When you were serving on the committee on claims and petition, you solicited signatures as a co-issue of resolution and also worked on a petition and had a report. Today, the plenary of the House took a decision instructing each member of the House to go to their respective constituents and then have discussion with the member of their districts. That's how it works. And there were specialized committee instituted by the Speaker. What do you make of that?
Well, first and foremost, it's a strategy in my mind by the CDC-led government through Speaker Chimas to start the war crime progress. And it is also a means of buying time. Because one thing about a war crime that I'm glad there's no statute of limitation to war crimes. So whether it's 50 years, whether it's 100 years, whether it's 35 years, there's no statute of limitation to war crime. I am glad as a person, one of the reasons I came to the House was on the issue of accountability of past crimes, selective justice. And so being a member of Claims and Petition at the time, I raised the issue because I have realized that without settling the matter of war crimes and crimes committed against humanity, the destruction, the raping, and heinous crimes that were committed in Liberia, without addressing this, without fully adjudicating this matter, I believe Liberia as a nation is going anywhere. And any country that plays with the rule of law, any country that will give up essential liberty for fear of some freedom, Benjamin Franklin said that in relevant part, that nation is bound to lose both. So we cannot say because of the absence of security, so we are dodging war crimes. People took guns in Liberia, people inflicted wounds on families, people killed over 250,000 Liberians. It's a shame that as a country we cannot lay this matter to rest. We must find a way to lay the matter to rest. The TRC recommended both retributive justice and restorative justice. The TRC was not 100% on one form of justice. The TRC said those who committed grave crimes, those who were leaders of those warring factions, the unsensical, irrational war, they should bear the consequences of the crime. The TRC also said that there should be some form of repatriation for victims, and there's nothing has been done since the war of Liberia. So as a member of the legislature, I decided to take up that challenge to free Liberia from this calamity and from this mystery. But yet and still, it is far from completing.
So today, you have reports when you were chair on the committee. Those reports have been in the legislature for some couple of months or year now. Today's action, does that mean that what was resoluted or signed by your colleagues when you asked for their support, does that mean that all that you did, have been trashed?
Well, honestly, it's pathetic. Like before coming here, people used to say the nation is on a curse. And I used to think the nation is on a curse for being a member of the House in leadership position. From what I saw today, I do believe that Liberia is indeed on a curse. It motivates me more as a young person to fight to see how well we can revoke the curse. And I'm going to pray strongly that I don't inherit the curse. Because I see no reason. The documents that was done by my committee, it has consistently been held or seized by Speaker. Even today, it was seized by Speaker. He did not release that. But then he went on a third communication that was just brought on the floor today, the one that traches war crime, the one that buy more time. It was just on the floor today. It was acted on today, and every member has got to go back, whereby we have a document calling for war crimes and persecution of former warlords. Since 2019, it has been seized by the Speaker. So which nation We have people who die, over 250,000. We have murders going on. We have victims living with a scar. And then you temper with justice like the way Liberia temper with justice. So in the absence of justice, there's no development. In the absence of justice, there's no serious investor going to come to Liberia, a country that the men will rise up and kill its own citizens, that cannot punish or do something about that. What more can you do with the investor money? That investor got to be a crazy billionaire. The investor got to be a cracky billionaire. So
finally, from my end, what you foresee coming from this decision taken today that committee were instituted? You are going to work in line with the committee to engage members of your constituents. Well, what do you see coming? Do you see any fruitful results from
the people of District 4 overwhelmingly stand for a war crime code? As a matter of fact, you listen to radio talk show, you listen to public engagement I've had. They stand for war crime code. As a matter of fact, I was one of those who voted against. In fact, there wasn't even a vote taken today. Speaker did not read the organ of a vote. Such a contested matter should have been voted by head count. That wasn't done, so it tells you that he hijacked it. But these were my points to the movement, honorable jury. You cannot say that we're going back into our district to discuss with the laymen on the issue of a war crime when we already know the issue of security is already a problem in Liberia. Who's going to be willing to stand and say Prince Johnson did that to me, Saboli did that to me, he just called all of the warlords that did that to me? How do they have the security? There's no security. You all listen, like I said, the president said people should buy CCTV, meaning you need to protect yourself. The government cannot assure your security. So it's just fiasco, it's just a matter of buying time. But as a matter of fact, the same lawmakers who you sending back to ask the people, right now we have 46 lawmakers who have re-signed on the resolution calling for the establishment of war crime school. So what are you going to say? Are you going to sign and then you tell your people and you say no, my people say I should not sign? There's no Liberian that will tell you they don't want war crime, unless those who were direct beneficiaries of the war and those whose relatives were in the war. But there's no Liberian. I think it's a matter that we need to raise in the media. We need to put it behind us, because if you get out there in Liberia, there's nobody taking this from us. If you listen around the world, Sweden, Belgium, France, and Switzerland, they're persecuting warlords for crimes they committed in Liberia, but they live in the country. They are setting a standard and an example in the country that they don't want these kind of people in the society. Whereby in Liberia, government official, the Speaker of the House, he's protecting criminals, because the President of Liberia, who was an advocate along with Speaker Chimos yesterday for war crime, they are the ones shielding warlords today. Okay. What a sad day.
So my name is Wani Kamara, and I come from the Liberian Network. Honorable, from the way you speak, I sense some level of disappointment, given that you have moved back and forth on this issue. You have spoken about it many, many times, and yet you don't see the discussion to be proceeding in a way that it should. And so now that you're not really going forth with this document as you see it from the House of Representatives side, what is your next strategy? My second concern is the Liberian Senate has already decided on those issues to form a transitional justice to look at the issue of war crimes and other crimes committed in this country. And because we have a legislature that collaborate in terms of decision making for the country, there's a likelihood that the House of Representatives may decide to concur with what the Senate has done. Do you care to comment about that?
Yeah, first of all, it is a little bit disappointing, but I am not frustrated, because if Liberia has had people who are standing for justice like I do today, we will have skyrise and skyscrapers all around in Liberia. Youth employment wouldn't be a problem. Education will not be a problem. It tells you that people have repeatedly tread in error, and people are still working in error. So it just motivates me to do more, because I have no other country to go. If I had somewhere else to go, I table the issue of war crime and have another country. I don't have nowhere. Secondly, yes, we do have a bicameral legislature. The Senate, nobody expected the Senate to go contrary to what it did, for the fact that the Senate was able to elect a documented killer or warlord like Prince Johnson to be chair on national security and veteran affairs, and we again have to raise issue, and the U.S. Embassy have to raise concerns. So he forcibly resigned his position, you don't expect anything better from the Senate that is controlled by the president, controlled by the Putin, which is a former good professor. He was my professor at the university. I knew him to be a good man, so now I'm calling a former good professor. So I don't expect anything good to come from there, especially when it comes to war law. What is disappointing, when people get older, they tend to correct the mistakes that they make in life and try to correct it, but for the Senate, that is not the case of Liberia. I think they are further putting the country into chaos. Maybe they feel that they don't have much longer time yet, so they're putting the country back into chaos. But if the lower house will side with the Senate, it will be in the 54th legislature. They will side the 55th legislature. We hope to be back there. We will still continue the issue of the war crime, and then we're very positive that one day our argument will make sense.
All right, so there are two from one from Jenkins and one from George.
You were accused by one of your colleagues, the person of Akawa's grade, forgery.
No, I don't think he knew what he was saying. I'm sorry to say. You know, the flow, you can be very emotional. I think he has some level of respect for me. You know, I will never do that. But in debating, you want to win the show. So the microphone was taken for him because his motion was also out of order. There should be no reason I will forge anyone's signature for war crimes. He did not understand the matter. Yeah.
All right, so George.
Honorable Dennis, my name is Hon Suacoc, and I write for Global News Network. He just said that since he came into the house, he believed that this country is cursed. I'm wondering whether is it because of the curse that is delaying the establishment of a war crime court, or you see it as a lack of political will for the establishment of this court?
Well, indeed, there's lack of political will for the establishment of this court, and like I said, it's something that you hear around Liberia is cursed. If whether you want to believe it, you don't want to believe it, I believe from the chair that I say that the country is cursed. Because the way people run national decision, if the nation is not cursed, they won't run decision like that. We have a national budget that we don't have opportunity to dissect the budget. There's no budget performance report. We just passed 600, 700 million. And those of us who stand up to question it, we become hated by the executive. And then when you get back in your constituent, people don't appreciate the level of work that you do, that you stand for them. So indeed, there is a curse that needs to be removed.
Thank you so much.